And I just imagine, right, BC, before COVID, right?
Elon Musk before.
Yeah. You don't have to have money to start. It's very important to start doing the books now when you're starting a business, right? That's another thing that I highly recommend.
All right, welcome back to the Fundamental Podcast. We are here today with another special guest. All of our guests are very, very special to us. Today we have Reace in the building. So
Mr.
welcome,
Reace. Come on, sir. How are you?
Yes, I'm very well, thank you. How are you guys doing?
It's been all right.
Everybody's been busy with university,
very busy
with life,
Yeah.
Trying to get things sorted, hey? No, that's good.
No, cozy. So basically today we had Reace on because he's basically our resident business insider. Working title.
Yeah, we hope so. I mean, it depends on what the people think, but I mean, hopefully I can provide some good information for...
Elon Musk before...
Yeah. Well, I'm studying at Tux as well, so I mean, hopefully, the next Elon. Well, I mean, I don't fancy space, but I mean, maybe I'll do something else. But I mean, so just to give some like backstory, at the moment, I'm really like into this whole, I've started businesses. At the moment, I've started 3 businesses, was able to sell one. The one is currently going very well, and then the other one is kind of in the motions. We're struggling with a few things, but I mean, it's all in the process. It's how everybody starts.
Yeah.
So at the moment, just to explain with the businesses, it's this concept called drop shipping. Now, I'm sure like people have heard about it. I mean,
well, just 1 second before we get into drop shipping, because recent drop shipping is like,
we can go for hours.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. Like, what were your businesses? What are your businesses? What business did you sell?
Yeah, which was the one you sold? Because that's
so,
pretty impressive.
So basically, like, again, it's a drop shipping business. I started this whole journey by making it's essentially a drop shipping weave business where we outsourced a supplier that hand makes weaves, and they do like hair accessories for basically like African women. And we were able to outsource the supplier, and they sorted out our deliveries, they sorted out our packaging, and we were able to create a website and Facebook and Instagram and everything like that, doing the advertising. And we were able to start making money like that. The only reason why I ended up selling the business was because obviously I'm white, so it was quite difficult to try and break into that market, because especially a good way to go about it is to essentially go into hair salons or even shops that sell weaves and to obviously advertise and say, listen, you can use us as a distributor. But now it would be quite awkward if you see me going into there and they're going to look at me and they're just going to laugh at my face and be like, well, first of all, I'm a male and I'm white, so it would have been
what do you know about them?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, although I did have
besides that they look great, Adam.
Yeah, exactly, and the quality was quite decent as well. So besides all of that, just decided that it wasn't the correct market, but the amount of knowledge that I learned from that business was fantastic, and it allowed me to essentially start my other 2 businesses. So we ended up selling. Well, my business partner for that business, we ended up selling it. And we made decent cash essentially. And then the other 2 businesses is McSauce, which is it's a print-on-demand business, which is essentially we take clothes and we print customizable things onto the actual shirt, right? And also because we're doing that, we decided to have our own clothing line as well. So McSauce Clothing is essentially a clothing brand on the side, but also we can do print-on-demand rebranding, things like that. So that's that's the second business that I have currently.
And just third business being a model.
No. So then the third business, Easy Web Developers. Basically, we do website designing. We can do SEO management, website management. We can do logo design. We can do a few things essentially. We can do digital marketing as well. So it's more branched into the skills that I learned off of making these businesses and allowed me to use those skills to
Sort of be like
Making
a
a business.
third-party logistic for certain companies.
Yeah,
Like
basically.
third-party, like let them have a website, let them run stuff there.
Exactly.
So if
Exactly.
I was like, hey, me and Tristan want to start a shoe business. I don't know. What's a funny concept for you? Give me an one.
I don't know, bro. Maybe we just start a website
For
to
professional beard combers.
sell
or something, yeah.
toupees or something. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
No,
what-
exactly. And like what my business would end up doing is making a website for you guys. And
Toupees.com.
yeah, exactly.
See you there. That's what
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, yeah, that's basically the background of what I've been doing. I've been doing this for about 8 months now. 8 months to 10 months now. So I've got about that amount of time's worth of knowledge.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just here to share the do's, the don'ts,
And
the
who's
the
and
scheme.
what's.
Yeah, the who's, what's, when's, how's.
Yeah.
And
All
yeah.
the good stuff.
And this is
Yeah, exactly. The
8
good-
months. Now imagine after like a year or two. Really.
No, exactly. So that's the whole idea about it. And the fantastic thing about this is just starting a business. It transpires into many different things. So like, for example, when I started the weave business, I would have never thought of having a clothing business with my business partner, Marcel.
Yeah.
I would have never like thought about having another like website development company as well. So it's just definitely something to get behind, something to challenge yourself, something that I really enjoy personally, and that's why I'm here today to share that information.
I love entrepreneurs. They are literally Swiss Army knives of skills.
Yeah.
They'll be like, yeah, Bruce, so I was doing a weave business. And then, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just.
And now I'm making websites.
Yeah, I make
yeah.
websites. Like, it's just. The dichotomy is very interesting.
Yeah.
No, so like daily life, what's like in your daily life, dude? Like, how do you get up in the morning, you know?
So I get up in the morning and I pretty much open my eyes, so that's how I wake up. And then
Good start.
Are you gonna be those like influencers that's like, I wake up at 5 every morning, I hit the gym like twice.
So I wake up at 5 in the morning, I do 10 minutes of meditation. Then I
Okay,
go
that's
and I get
interesting.
some black coffee. No, I'm joking.
I'm very disappointed. I was gonna be like, what kind of meditation do you do?
I'm like,
you do TM? What kind?
like I do. Oh, jeez, man. I probably wake up like around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I'm a third year student at the University of Pretoria.
Yeah,
doing
busy life for you.
Yeah, bro, I'm doing a bachelor's majoring in psychology and English. So I'd basically just wake up and do classes. Then I'd probably end up working on the businesses. But all it is just like adapting the websites, dealing with clients, trying to think of new ideas, how to expand. And then also at the moment, while doing my degree, I'm also doing diplomas on the side. So I've done a personal training in health and wellness diploma. I just completed a diploma in a fully accredited diploma in sports psychology. And now I think you were thinking of doing something through Google for Africa.
Yeah,
where I'm
but
doing
Google digital skills,
the digital marketing program that they have. So I'm doing that currently as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I'm not working on my degree and I'm not working on my businesses, then I'm probably doing a course or something like that.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, if you want to go far, like the amount of knowledge that you have is what's going to propel you to be successful in life. Because I mean, if you like are educated and you know a little bit about everything, you know, you're bound to have a conversation with somebody that knows so much more, and they're like, you know what, listen, I enjoy what you know, so come work with me. And then again, that's just another stream of revenue that you could end up making money. So
So
I'll
it's
just
a bit of what you know and who you know.
well, but again, if you're talking to somebody that is, then it becomes of like who you know.
Yeah.
So it is a little bit of a mixture, but again, it is who you know majority of the time that gets you to do things. I mean, again, looking at drop shipping and looking at the businesses and things like that.
What is dropshipping like? For like most people don't know what a dropshipping sort of vibe is. You know what is?
Yeah, sure. So now we can get into the drop shipping essentially. So drop shipping is a business scheme. Obviously, it's not the exact definition or the exact representation, but it is a scheme that I've adopted that I use in 2 of my businesses, and I'll branch off into something else that I use for my third business. Where essentially drop shipping is you have the manufacturer, right, or you have the distributor, okay. Then you have the middle person, which is yourself, and then you have the client. So you, as the middle person, is the drop shipper. So now what you do is that you make a connection between the distributor or the person that's got the product, and you make the connection to the client. So now as the drop shipper, what you would do is that you would take that product, you would advertise it, you would talk to the client, and you would find out where they live. You'd get the client to essentially buy the product, right? And for that service of doing it, you would make you'd do a mock-up, right? Now, obviously a mock-up is where you put, like, for example, a profit on it, where for that service you'd make 100 Rand profit, okay?
Yeah.
Now you go to the distributor or the person that made the product, right? You go, okay, listen, I've got somebody that will buy it for however much you said you wanted it to be, right? But I'm going to put 100 Rand profit on top of it for the service of making it easier for you because I dealt with the client. They go, okay, cool. I've got the product. I'll distribute it. I'll deal with the packaging, right? And it's all in their costs, right? You spoke to the client. You did the advertising. You got the client to be interested in it. And you find out their address, X, Y, Z. And then you talk to the distributor. It gets distributed to the client.
So basically like a freelance sales rep.
Yeah, basically. And you don't hold onto any of the products and you don't hold onto any of the stock, which is why I've tried to implement it in my other businesses, because if you're not the issue nowadays, especially with people our age, we don't have the facilities for that, big man. We don't have the facilities to hold it in, to hold the products.
We also don't have the capital. We don't have
exactly.
the capital to...
And the beauty with drop shipping is that you don't have to have money to start it. All you need to do is that you need to find a client that's interested in a product that you have or that you have whereabouts about, and they pay you, right? You pay the
so for
product.
example, I'm selling toupees. Tristyn wants a toupee. You chat to Tristyn on my behalf, basically.
Yes, and then I talk to you. Tristyn pays me. I pay you. I make 100 Rand profit just for the service of talking to Trist for it. You make money because you obviously put your own profit on it. You benefit from it because you don't have to deal with the client. I benefit from it because I don't have to hold on to the stock or do the distribution. Yeah. And then therefore, that's how I make my money from those profits, because of the service of doing essentially advertising and talking to the client and being able to make the connection. Yeah. And that's the beauty of drop shipping, where again, you don't hold on to any of the stock. You don't have to have any money or any capital in the beginning to start. All you need is an interested client that pays me. You pay the person with the product. They do the distribution, and you just sit there in your house on your laptop, not moving a muscle, and you just enjoy the profits.
So you're trying to make it accessible and super easy.
No, exactly.
With convenience.
Exactly.
And is there a specific website or something where you find clients and buyers and sellers? You know what I mean? Or how do you find those?
So
is it just word of mouth?
Okay, yeah. So now we can get into this. So a very nice website that you can go onto is, let's just say, for example, Take-A-Lot, right? That's a very well-known website in South Africa that everybody uses. And what does Take-A-Lot do? Take-A-Lot have people, they outsource people, or people want to sell their products. They go onto Take-A-Lot, right? They sell their products essentially, and then Take-A-Lot just does the distribution for them. Yeah. So it's essentially, all quite similar, except the person has to have the products in mind. But using Take-A-Lot, you can take those products off of Take-A-Lot, right? Take that, make your own website with it, sell those products, make your own profit, and then again, it's essentially the same thing. So good websites to look for products is Take-A-Lot, Oberlo, Oberlo. That's another good one for distribution. Those are the two main ones that are very reliable within South Africa. Okay. So I would highly recommend looking into those websites. But now in terms of the advertising and things like that, you can advertise on eBay, you can advertise on Facebook, you can advertise on Instagram. But the whole scheme around it is that you have to develop your own website in order to sell the product or in order to advertise the product.
What is the process of owning a website? Do you have to pay a fee every month? What does it mean to own a website? So essentially you go onto companies that develop websites essentially. That can do it for free. And now, again, emphasis on free, because it's not really free. Yeah. You have Wix, you have another one called GoDaddy. That's American. You have another website builder that is Shopify. That's another one, Shopify. Right, so now this is how they catch you, right? So they say, you can develop a website for free, but you go onto it, you develop your website. Okay, cool, everything's up and running. You got your product going, you got your prices, everything's pretty much sorted. Yeah. But now they go, okay, in order to release it or in order to publish it, to publish a website, you have to pay either a monthly fee or a yearly fee, right? Now these guys, they love to do this, right? They say it's a monthly fee, but what happens is that it's a once-off yearly fee essentially. So there's some like terms and conditions that when going into those websites and making a website for your product that you would like to sell for the drop shipping, I highly recommend reading the terms and conditions, because for my first website essentially for the business is called Haircentric, for the weave business, I ended up paying like around $6,000 for the website to be made.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's a lot to
so it was like I was very young and naive 8 months ago, but so $6,000 just down the toilet. Where a few months later, I was doing some additional research, and I actually found out that, for example, because all of those websites are essentially American, right? But now you have a website developing company called WordPress. It's called WordPress. Okay, now they've also got this thing where you make a website for free, and then you also, to publish it, you have to pay money.
Yeah.
Okay. But now a beautiful thing that you can do is that if you go onto AfriHost, right, and you pay to have a domain or something like that, you'd end up paying 50 Rand a month.
Which is way less.
Sure.
Which essentially, obviously, 50 times 12 is how much? $600?
Yeah.
600 Rand, right? Now you do that and you link it to the WordPress, right? And they go, okay, well, WordPress essentially goes, okay, well, they're paying another service provider in order to like host a website, right? We're just going through WordPress essentially, or WordPress through AfriHost. And now all you're doing is paying $600 a month. You pay 100 to 150 Rand for a domain. Now a domain is the URL. So it would be like, for example, www.google.com. That's the domain. So the domain is the word, like the title.
That's the website.
That's going to be in the URL. So for us, for McSauce, it would be mcsauce.co.za. So now you're paying 100 to 150 Rand for a domain, right? You're paying AfriHost $600 a year essentially to have that 750 Rand that's going to be in your first year, and 600 Rand for all the years thereafter. You're making so much money compared to the $6,000 that you essentially went through that American company to do it.
Yeah.
So it's all of those like things that I learned, those small things that, okay, geez, I could have saved like
so
literally a little bit more than $5,000 that I could have invested either into another business or a different product. So I highly recommend that if you guys are going to make a website or something like that, rather to go through AfriHost, get a domain, link it to WordPress, and you're saving, well, I mean, compared to what I did, you're saving just over $5,000.
Like literally, like 100%, you took off a zero.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one of the things that I learned from doing this whole drop shipping experience. So again, the whole process goes about finding a product, finding clients that are interested. Again, when finding a product, make sure that the person can do deliveries and do packaging. So that you don't have to hold on to the stock, you don't have to touch the product. All you know is that it's going to end up at the client. You're going to make your profit for the service fee that you did of, communicating to the client, and then obviously having the website that you can save so much money, unlike me that made a dumb impulse decision in the beginning.
But a lot of mistakes need to happen.
Exactly.
A lot of, some of the best things in life happen via impulse.
Yeah, that's very true. Literally, the reason why I ended up in this situation with the businesses is because my one mate that I started the first business with, he was literally, because I was like on the side and I was like, but not going to get clients interested. I'm not really sure of what to do. And my mate was like, just screw it. Let's just do it. Right. We're gonna pay the money, right? Because we split it. We're gonna pay the money. If it succeeds, it succeeds. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We learned so much. I mean, we literally went balls to the walls. We got the company registered. We got a bank account. And that's also something that I'd really like to talk about.
Please let us know I'm actually learning about the process of registering company partnership agreements and stuff.
Yes,
you went partnership agreements, I'm assuming.
Essentially we had to go partnership because we were both directors.
Yeah, and
essentially.
companies, you need shareholders when you don't have
yes,
such. Yeah.
exactly. So also a good tip when registering a company, if you go through the what's it called, the CIPCC?
Yeah.
Right. So either way, it's the website or it's the organization that you go to that registers companies for South Africa.
Yeah.
Right. So now to register your company, you need like around 100 to 150 Rand to register your company through that organization. Right. And now another thing to learn when making a company or when making a business, it's good to have a business bank account. Right. But now when you make that bank account and you go through the banks, they go, you know what, listen, you can have a bank account, we'll give you a card, we'll maybe give you F&B, like they gooi a SIM card in, which is quite nice. And they go, you know what, we will do all of this. And if you want, we'll register your business as well. But they go, you know what, I know in another bank, right? They go, we'll register your business for 500 Rand.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll do the service for $500. But now if you go to that organization that registers businesses, you can just go onto that website and do it for 100, 150 Rand.
Yeah.
So now if those big banks are capitalizing on that service and they're making like around 350 to 400 Rand profit just because you don't know how to actually register it.
Yeah.
So it's the little things like that where you can save so much money and you can invest it back into businesses, or you can use it on a night out or whatever.
Yeah, that's extra shirt from Exhaust.
No, exactly.
And you want to wear Exhaust clothing.
Exactly. You want to wear it all the time. I mean, it's drippy, it's saucy. Why not?
Don't look at the camera, but hey.
No, exactly. So I mean, it's those small things that end up being so much money that you could have saved. Or like, for example, you guys could like end up getting another piece of art or something on the set.
Setting up for an extra camera.
Exactly. And it's small things like that you just learn from. And also, in terms of starting a small business is so fantastic as well, because especially with paying taxes and things like that, there's a certain threshold that you need to meet in order
the tax threshold.
The tax threshold. And I mean, especially for a young business, if you're making...
Because I'm around the business is currently in South Africa taxed at 28%.
Yeah.
So if your gross income, 28% of your gross income is... So 28% of your gross income is what's taxed, right?
Basically.
And then you get, I'm sure with companies, you get like rebates and stuff like that.
Yeah, basically. But I mean, that doesn't start with a small business essentially, because you only have to start paying tax if you hit 1 million Rand a year. So that's the threshold basically.
Next year we're paying tax. It's what
Next year you guys might, if you hit $1 million. So that's the basic threshold. So I mean, listen, for my other businesses combined, I don't have to stress about that for the next few years,
Yeah, 100%.
Obviously hoping if they all go well.
Yeah.
But I mean, so obviously paying taxes like that, that's the nice thing, and you can always, with things like that, or with the smaller things in life, you can always put it through as a business expense. So, and it's also very important to start doing the books.
Close their ears for this part.
Yeah, exactly. It's very important to start doing the books now when you're starting a business, right? That's another thing that I highly recommend. Start doing the books as soon as you start paying for something. The first purchase that you make for your business, start doing the books. Because the thing is, as soon as you hit that threshold for paying tax, the government or whoever is going to come to you and they're going to be like, listen, what happened all before those years, before you actually hit the threshold? And now you're going to be sitting there being like, shit, I don't have anything.
Yeah.
I don't remember the receipts. I don't have anything like that, essentially. So now I highly recommend as well, if you are going to start doing a small business, to start paying attention to the books.
Expenses, write down what you buy, write down everything.
I mean, you can literally get a bookkeeping software for free as well that you can start working on and things like that. So it's just the little things to start doing it. And also another piece of advice is, if you have an idea of a product, just do it. Like don't sit there. Again, beautiful thing about the whole drop shipping scheme is that, or the drop shipping idea is that you don't have to have money to start. You just get an interested client and you can just start. Again, start with mom, start with dad, word of mouth, go to like the shops.
My dad's mate wants to get an extra
mask. Let's just say with mask. Yeah. Like, let's just say, for example, right, drop shipping. This idea, it's not exactly, I mean, I'm sure there's multiple words or schemes, strategies, ideas that explains what I'm doing basically. But I mean, I found this idea or strategy through dropshipping. And I just imagine, right, BC, before COVID, right? If you were like, okay, this COVID thing's going to go like tits up, right? And shit is going to hit the fan. And you go, you know what? I'm going to do dropshipping and I'm going to look for a product of hand sanitizers and masks, right? And I'm going to go to these big organizations. Like, for example, you go to Clicks, you go to Discount, and you go to them and you go, listen, right? Again, before COVID, BC, and you go, listen, this COVID thing's going out of control, right? I've got these things at such a good price. Do you want them? Clicks in like Discount, they would have gone, you know what? Screw it, I want it. I literally cannot even fathom how much money a single person would have made if they were selling masks and hand sanitizers before COVID, and obviously being a reliable source for those things, you could have still been selling them today. I cannot fathom how much money a individual could have been making throughout this time.
If you what I saw was quite interesting. Hand sanitizer companies, the companies that actually make their stocks are booming.
Exactly. People are investing because they know it's gonna make money. And I mean, just imagine you were that person that was like, you know what, I'm not gonna dawdle, right? I'm gonna go straight, all balls in, balls to the walls, and I'm gonna get these hand sanitizers and masks, and how much money you would have made. So that's what I'm saying, because if I knew this drop shipping idea a year, 2 years ago, I would have capitalized on the masks and things. Well, I mean, I hope that I would have made lots of money.
Yeah.
But I mean, it would have been...
It could have been successful. Could have been gold.
Exactly.
It's all about probabilities, I'm sure.
No, 100%. It's about probability. It's about the success of how you could have done it.
You could have the perfect idea, perfect strategy, perfect everything, and it can still fail. Or you could have not so much prep and still be successful.
But somebody else could take that idea and have better skills, better knowledge, and take that and make more money than you would have probably made if you decently started off with. So I mean, you guys now are starting the businesses, starting studios, Fundamental Studios, the podcast. I'm sure you guys are obviously thinking about the things that you have to do, things that you have to invest in.
Yeah, so many things to think about.
We can talk about this more.
Process, yeah,
we'll get back to this more. Just going to take a small break.
Cool.
All right, now we're just pausing the episode for a bit. I'm just here to remind you to please visit the YouTube page, subscribe to the YouTube page, like the video, leave a comment, let us know your thoughts, your feelings, give us a comment. All information will be super helpful for us. And hit the notification bell, ring the icon so that you don't miss an episode.
Yeah, and also please follow us on Instagram at _fundamental_podcast and like our photos, leave some comments, and watch out for all our latest clips as well as behind the scenes pictures and clips. Cool, back to the episode.
And we are back from the break. How's it going, guys? All good?
Yeah, fantastic. A little bit tired because it's very hot, but I'm
How
are you doing?
Very hot day. Very hot.
During the break, you're telling us about a bit of drop shipping. Well, before the break, first part, we were talking about drop shipping and all that interesting stuff. One topic you brought up was drop servicing. Now, how does that differ from drop shipping?
Yeah, so, I mean, drop shipping and drop servicing, essentially they are very similar, except drop shipping is more about the product and drop servicing is more about providing an actual service. So, I mean, let's just say for example, Andrew, you do painting. You can paint in the houses, you do painting, right? Just, you have a house.
It has to be
painting. Yeah, need some painting, right? So now, okay, you essentially are looking for somebody. I'm the middle person, again, the whole concept of connecting the product or the service, right, drop servicing, and the client. So now I'll outsource for you. Okay, cool. Listen, I've got a client that needs the house to be painted, right? Okay, you come to me. Listen, it'll cost $500 to paint a room. I'll go, okay, cool. I'll come to you and I'll say, listen, he can do it, but for $600. Okay, you go, okay, cool, $600 for my room to be painted. Okay, cool, no worries. You pay me the $600. I pay Andrew the $500 for the actual service that he's going to provide, right? He does the actual service, and I just sit, relishing in the profit of $100 just for talking to you and doing the connection. So, I mean, a really good trick is to find out what a client is interested in or like any services. So I mean, for example, right, everybody knows you go to Builder's Warehouse and you've got gents that are sitting outside with their boards, like saying whatever service that they can do, right? You find somebody that needs like tiling, painting, you know, like anything that's got to do with like being a carpenter, or, you know, anything with those guys sitting outside Builder's Warehouse, right? You find a client that needs some services like that. You literally go to the gents, right? You find out, okay, listen, like how much would you do it for this? They're going to go, okay, again, I'll do it for, I mean, shame, they're like really sweet people. They do it for so cheap anyway. They go like, okay, $200, right? You say, no, you're going to do it for like 400 and I'll still make, like I'll do a mock-up of like, you know, to 600. I'll make a 200 Rand profit. I'll take the guy to the client that wants this done. I'll sort him out. Like we'll get the things that he needs, right? Just an example, right? We'll get the things that he needs. Again, the client pays me.
So,
and
for example,
I can get,
Sorry, sorry not to.
Have a go.
But for example, if they need podcasting, for example, to get their brand exposure, we got the services.
Exactly.
Got the equipment.
Exactly. And I just outsource what the client wants. I go to the to you guys essentially. I do a profit margin, and then we just do it like that. And again, just for dealing with the client, I've made my profit. Again, I don't have to have any expenses to put into the whole situation first, because the client has to pay me first before I do anything else. Again, that's the beauty of drop shipping and drop servicing. Yeah. Because the whole point is to start a business without using any of your own income, even though we don't have any income, but like the whole idea of using, like not using our own income and getting the client to purchase first. So like for example, the McSauce, we don't do anything until the person pays us first. And then we deal with it, we do the distribution and everything like that. So I mean, that's a whole concept of like drop servicing. And another thing that I can highly recommend is you outsource a service that a client wants, essentially. So say they want logo design or something like that, or they want a music piece to be developed, or they want transcripting or anything like that. Hop onto Fiverr, right? Because people go onto there, they sell their services. You hop onto Fiverr, right? You find somebody that gets a logo done for like, what, $200? Something like that? Yeah. And then you go, essentially, you get the client to pay you $300-$400, right? You make that profit. You go to Fiverr, you pay him $200 to get the logo design done. All I'm doing is sitting on my bum with a laptop, dealing with the client, emails, what would you like, blah, blah, blah. Go to the guy on Fiverr, send him an email. He gets it done within 24 hours, right? You pay him the $200. The client paid you 400. You make a 200 Rand profit. Yeah. Like it just sounds good. You know what I'm saying? Good, and it's just things like that. So if you do want to start a drop servicing scheme, right, or a business, right, I highly recommend just going onto Fiverr and finding things. Yeah. So that's my take on like the whole drop shipping and drop servicing.
Yeah. And if you are going to use Fiverr, use my affiliate link in the description. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Start your own business. Let's go. Yeah.
What are the services you need? Basically, And you think, okay, crazy idea, right? You think I could start paying for all of these things in crypto one day?
Ooh, yeah, crypto. Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, crypto. Well, before I start speaking about crypto, like, what is your guys' opinions on crypto? Do you think it will be something that will be able to be used in the future?
I think at the current moment, it's the Wild West. This is the time to capitalize, to really capitalize. Because it's like a risk, it's a gamble, nothing's certified, nothing's there. So you can, in and out, I'm not saying scam people, but like you can definitely like make profits and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like really big profits.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Like, I mean, personally, like, I did invest in Bitcoin, and then as soon as my profits were like close to doubling my initial investment, I withdrew my initial investment entirely, and then the profit was like a fresh investment almost. So I can't lose money, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You've already made a profit.
But also, I heard on one of our other favorite podcasts, it was actually Akash Singh that said this, and I thought it was a very well articulated version of what I was thinking. And he was basically saying, like, when you invest in Bitcoin, you're not really, like, everyone says, "Ooh, you're betting on the coin, and it's like you're not betting on the coin, you're betting on people's belief in the coin.
100%.
And it was like, Yeah, I believe people are
But
wired to go
all
for that.
stocks, all money in life.
It really is. It's
Well, it's
a
like
mutual
forex
belief.
trading and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I mean,
You're
listen,
believing in the strength
even
of the
though
company.
even though it is a risk, life is a risk. You know
Exactly,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, if you
Waking
either-
up is a risk.
Yeah, exactly. Getting in your
Anything
car
can happen.
and like thinking that you're gonna like not get in an accident is still a risk at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you're gonna invest in it, you might as well. And if you're gonna you're either gonna hop onto the bus and join the ride, or you're gonna get off and lose out on it, in the hope that it is going to blow up eventually. I mean, like for example, just the way that crypto works, like a really good point that you were saying, is that crypto can increase or decrease based on people's beliefs.
Yeah.
I mean, when Elon Musk started saying that, you can use Bitcoin to purchase Teslas, Bitcoin was shooting through the roof because people were like, oh, yeah, you can use Bitcoin, you know, X, Y, Z, it's the future, it's the future. The moment that Elon was like, listen, we're not using it anymore, Bitcoin just tanked. And like it lost like, I don't even know how much, but I mean, it decreased by like 40% or something like that. And again, it just takes one moment where maybe in the near future where somebody else is going to be like, listen, you can use Bitcoin to buy Lamborghinis, Ferraris, whatever.
Yeah.
And people all of a sudden are going to start investing in Bitcoin again, or like just in cryptocurrency in general. And it's more of a thing of, like you said, it's the belief. And I mean, the whole point of crypto is to invest in it and to leave the money there to accumulate over time.
Exactly. Because it's going to go up and down, but as long as it's trending upwards,
exactly.
you're good.
And I mean, my personal opinion, I do think I could see cryptocurrency being the future, that you can use cryptocurrency to purchase things.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, again, going into cryptocurrency, you can do whatever you want. I mean, in life, you can do whatever you want, obviously within boundaries, you know, but I mean, essentially, the world is your oyster and you need to do whatever you want to make you happy. And if you're going to throw maybe 50 Rand towards cryptocurrency, you know, either Bitcoin or even an altcoin like Doge or something like that, you never know what it's going to be like in the next 20 years. I mean, again, if you throw 50 Rand, are you really going to care about that 50 Rand? You know? But if it accumulates, and next thing you know, in the next 20 years, it's like R1 million, right?
Then you care about the
then
million
all of a sudden people care, you know? And then you go, oh, you know, I actually really like the fact that I put 50 Rand in it. Now 20 years later, R1 million, you know? So, and things like that. I mean, you can even get into, like, crypto is a very difficult thing to get into. And I mean, people nowadays, they mine cryptocurrency. I mean, I've got one of my mates that just started mining Bitcoin. And so he's obviously he's a South African gent that I go to university with, and he started crypto mining. And again, like I said, he mines Bitcoin.
What does it mean to mine?
So I'll explain that now. Okay, so my mate makes $4,000 a month essentially. So now, but in terms of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. And now the whole thing is you can cash out on it now, but the whole thing is you want to keep it there. So now what crypto mining is, right? Let's just say, for example, you take normal currency, right? The whole world has all these different currencies, and within those currencies you have a specific amount, right? Things either increase in value and they decrease in value, but essentially either the banks, I mean, I don't know exactly how it works, but essentially you have a specific amount of money in the world. Okay. Now with Bitcoin, you can generate that currency, right? But now the thing is, the more Bitcoins that there are, the more it decreases in value. But now the thing is, the more Bitcoin that somebody has, right, and the less accessible it is, the more it increases in value because it's difficult to get your hands onto. So you can generate cryptocurrency all day long. But the thing is, cryptocurrency is going to inevitably go up and down. It's due to the accessibility, and it's due to how, supply and demand.
Yeah, correct.
Right. It depends how much there is, depends how many people have it, and that's why it increases and decreases. So now crypto mining goes, all you need is a graphics card, right? It's like dealing with PCs and stuff like that. And again, for the people, if I am wrong, I am sorry. This is how I know how to do it. And if you have something to say, I recommend coming onto the podcast and sharing your wonderful opinion. Okay? So now, the whole thing is you need a GPU, okay, so a graphics card, and you need to create a rig, which is basically where your graphics card and your power supply is going to go into, right? Now, you can't do it from your personal computer. You have to have a complete separate rig, because it gets a little bit like interesting. Okay, so you need to have a monitor, graphics card, power supply. You need to have it all linked up, and then you go onto a plethora of crypto mining websites. Okay, and you make your cryptocurrency wallet. You're into the blockchain, and then you start mining that currency. But now the thing is, to mine that currency, your GPU needs to essentially run overnight. Now, as far as I know, all it is just numbers. Okay, It's just numbers. It's coding. It's programming, and all it does is that the website uses your GPU to generate the cryptocurrency, so that they can essentially sell the cryptocurrency. So that's how they're going to make their money. But they're paying you for that service in that cryptocurrency, and there are websites that can do that. And that's how my one mate is essentially doing it, where he goes onto this website and they use his graphics card to do the mining. So now the difficulty with that is that it has to be on 24/7, right? The more graphic cards that you have, the easier it is or the faster that it will mine that cryptocurrency, whether it's Bitcoin. Ethereum is a really good cryptocurrency to get behind because it's worth so much. And the thing is, like, although it's very expensive to get into, I mean, graphics cards, I mean, people probably know if they know what I'm talking about. Graphic cards are very expensive, and my mate has 2 of them. And to do a whole rig like this costs between 30 to 40 grand to start out with. Yeah. So it's a massive investment to get behind. But again, if you're making 4 grand a month, right? And again, if the whole rig costs 40 grand, you're making 4 grand a month, you're going to break even in 10 months. Yeah. Right? Now, the whole point of this is to keep it running 24/7. So you do this for a year, do this for a year and a half, 2 years, right? Now, after you start breaking even and you start making your profit, you can invest in more graphic cards that would make that, to mine the cryptocurrency faster, that you would make profits faster. So essentially, like, it's really good. But the issue is that it is quite difficult to get behind because it can be easily hacked into, and somebody can just steal your cryptocurrency that you mine just like that. So there is a and that's the thing, there is a risk with cryptocurrency. So there is a risk with cryptocurrency. I mean, there's this guy that had like 16 million rands worth of cryptocurrency in his wallet, and he can't access it because he forgot his password.
Nice.
So literally he forgot his password. So there is a risk for imagine just for forgetting your password. The thing is, it is quite difficult because it's your e-wallet consists of 16 specific, more or less 10 to 16 specific words that you have to go in a specific order in order to unlock your wallet. So now if you just forget one of those words, you're finished, and there goes your 16 million rand. So you have the risk of forgetting your password. You have the risk of, just with not even mining cryptocurrency, just with cryptocurrency in as a whole, somebody can hack your wallet, somebody can hack your computer, you can forget your password. It's very high risk, but also it can be a high reward to an extent. So that's the thing. Again, it is risky business, but then again, life is a risk, and you're either going to get on board or you're going to get off. So that's essentially like with the mining. Again, you have your graphics card, you have a power supply. Again, you can start off.
I actually heard a story, right? Where this guy, literally in America, had a warehouse full of PS4s mining crypto.
Yes, you can mine with PS4s and Xboxes because he took there's graphic cards in Xbox and PlayStation 4s, and it comes with a power supply. Yeah. So you literally just take the lid off, take those things out, hook it up to a monitor, and you can mine it. But again, the thing is, it would be better to do it with the PlayStation 5 now.
Because it's way stronger.
Well, exactly. It's stronger, it's more powerful. But again, in our beautiful country, it has to run 24/7, and we've got load shedding. So you do
get a little gas generator.
Yeah, exactly. So you do run the risk of that. So it is very sneaky and risky business, but at the end of the day, it can be beautiful. And I was wanting to ask, have you guys heard of NFTs?
Yeah, bro.
Briefly, I've heard interesting things about it. So yeah.
So NFTs, right? It means non-fungible token. So all it is, it's digital artwork. Okay. So now, what it is again with cryptocurrency, it's also like a form of cryptocurrency, except this artwork, it has you can afford it via cryptocurrency. So there's so many artworks that you can purchase with Bitcoin, Ethereum, anything really. So now the whole thing is, just like cryptocurrency, you're going to have your e-wallet, okay? And your e-wallet is part of a blockchain. Now that whole thing, the blockchain is very important because that tells that it is your wallet.
Yeah.
Only you have access to it. Nobody else has access to it, and it makes it your own individual thing, essentially. Now, when you purchase that artwork belongs to you. So now another beautiful thing, also to make money as well in terms of NFTs, you can, if you're an artist or you're really creative, you can create NFTs and you can sell it. And now what these guys do, some of them do, is that they do it's like a 5% sell-on clause, basically. That like every time that item gets sold, right? So I get 5% commission for every time it's sold.
That's
in
clever.
that cryptocurrency. So I make it, right? I make an artwork, you're interested, right? You purchase it, okay, cool. Right now I've got that 5% sell-on clause. You sell it to Tristyn, I make 5% just off of that
purchase.
literally. So I mean that's another way to do it, but again you run the risk of somebody actually being interested. Like who's going to be interested in my shitty artwork, you know? So you run the risk. So that's why it comes with names and things like that. And also it's a great thing to have. So nowadays what artists are doing is that when they sell their albums and things like that, or concerts or tickets, it comes with an NFT. So for example, KSI,
so using their
name, their cloud to not necessarily capitalize, but I mean, I'm sure they're not dumb. If they understand NFTs and they're not dumb, they'll probably have that 5% sell-on clause. Yeah. And then again, if KSI, he did it recently for one of his albums, I think. Again, Oaks can correct me if I'm wrong. He did an NFT and it wasn't a thing of he sold it to them, but it was a thing of somebody purchased the album and then they got that NFT for free. But he probably put a 5% sell-on clause. So now that person's going to go, oh, somebody's interested in KSI NFT, sell it, bang, KSI gets 5%, you know, bang, bang. I mean, even KSI speaks about NFTs and cryptocurrency, and he's like heavily into it as well. And he like sees the future and the benefits of it. So, I mean, you have all these big name people essentially getting into it. And again, it's high risk, high reward, you know, but it's definitely something to look into and something to get into, and I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
So
for sure, bro. When are the McSauce NFTs gonna be launching then, bro?
You know, we'll do a young NFT with McSauce clothing and stuff like that. Hopefully somebody will buy it. I mean, we'll probably do it for 0.00001 Ethereum. To be honest, that's probably still a lot. But I mean, we'll go it next year. So look out.
McSauce logo on the tiger and then sell it as
a Somebody takes a picture, digitizes it, NFT right there, and then we sell that bad boy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you can make all in all, you can make money off of anything nowadays. Like literally, nobody cares. If somebody is interested in it and you have the right client, you can sell something and make so much money off of it. Yeah. So again, like just start.
Just start is the advice we give, right? But you know what kills me is that we've literally been here for like so long talking about all the different ways you can earn money, and then people still use new skin.
I mean, people use new skin, Herbalife, Secret and stuff like that. I mean, it is seen as like pyramid schemes, and I mean, you can make money off of it. But the whole thing is now that's when a good saying is, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Because the thing is, it's a pyramid scheme to an extent. Okay, so essentially, like it can be seen as a pyramid scheme, but it can also not be seen as a pyramid scheme. In my opinion, things like that can be seen as a pyramid scheme, because the way that it works is that you got the big boy at the top, right? And the thing is, how he started off was that he had the products. Let's just say, for example, he had nutrition or soaps, whatever product you can imagine, right? He had products, and he was like at the top, and he goes, you know what? I've got two mates. Yeah. Okay. Right. I've got two mates essentially. Can you guys sell? Okay. I've got McSauce. Okay. I've got a McSauce product. Okay. I've got t-shirts and stuff to sell. Okay. I come to you guys and I go, okay, listen, I want you guys to advertise for me and sell it, but every thing that you sell or every purchase that a client makes towards you guys, I get a commission off of that. Okay, so then I'll get a 10% commission off each one of you, right? So now I'm getting 20% essentially. Okay, so now that's how it all starts. Okay, now you guys, Trist, you go, okay, you have 2 other mates, okay? You go, listen, 2 other mates, I've got mixed sauce, you sell it for us, I'll make a 10% commission off of the both of you, right? So now it's almost like, okay, that 10% you're making, right? And I get some of that as well, okay? You go, oh, I've got 2 mates, and now your 2 mates go get their 2 mates. And obviously you can tell
it's starting to look very triangle.
it's starting to look like a flipping pyramid, you know? So, and the whole thing is that now all of a sudden you have so many people selling the same damn products. So now that's why, like, if you have a social media big following, or if you know a lot of people, that's when you'll capitalize on it, because it's not what you know, it's who you know. So I mean, like, for example, you can carry on. You've got your whole entire family, right? And you can just sell to them. Okay, and you can just sit down, especially if it's like a nutritional product. Okay, it's a product that they're gonna have to come back like every
for example,
month.
Like Herbalife with their protein powder.
Exactly, people are gonna use that. It's gonna deplete in a month to 2 months, and they're gonna keep coming back. Products like that are nice because it runs out, and people are gonna want more. If they enjoy the product, they'll come back for more.
So you're saying like perfect would be like consumables?
Yeah, consumable items, exactly. So, and again, if you just distribute to your whole family, but then again, let's just say my family doesn't want my stuff. They don't want anything to do with the products. They just want to lose it. Now, where do I get my money? And again, another thing, as far as I know, some people run it where you can, the client pays you first, and then you can go almost similar to like drop shipping, and you go purchase the protein powder from Herbalife and you get it distributed, you know, and then the client has it. But what some people do is that they hold on to stock, right, in the hope and belief that somebody's going to purchase the products. Now, all of a sudden, okay, cool, I sell protein powder to you, I sell protein powder to you, but now I've invested in 6 other protein powder containers, and now it's just going to sit collecting dust because I don't know anyone else. And now I have to wait for your guys' protein powders to finish before I take the ones in the back and give it to you. So now you're wasting money, you're wasting opportunity. And that's why, in my opinion, these things don't work, because you have so many people selling the same product. So the competition is very steep. Like, there's so many people. Competition's very high. You're dealing with people that sell the same product in different countries. And I mean, again, if you're in the same community, like, for example, you start doing it in high school, right? You guys went to the same high school, right? Oh, okay. Same university.
Yeah.
Right, you're in the same university, and you guys go and you start advertising at the university. You start going, hey guys, Herbalife, protein powder, yeah. And you go, oh damn, that's a good idea. I also want to advertise. Now you go, oh, hey guys, I also have protein powder. Then somebody else goes, you know what, like, Trist, can I work for you? Right? Hey Andrew, you know, different guy. Hey, can I work for you? And all of a sudden you got 4 guys in the same university selling the same product.
You're saturating the market.
Exactly. So it just doesn't work. And again, it can work based on who you know and how many people you know. So it's not based on what you know. It's who you know. So it can work to an extent, but in my opinion, it's definitely a pyramid scheme, because, I mean, the way that I just explained it, it looks like a literal pyramid, you know? So, and people tell me it's not, but I mean...
Yeah, then I call it
a shape.
Yeah, exactly. A shape is a shape. Don't discriminate. Yeah. So that's my opinion about pyramid schemes.
I mean, some could say that we're in a saturated market with podcasts, but hey...
Not in this country, though.
Exactly.
The overseas one, for sure.
Exactly.
In South Africa, there's not that many good ones.
Exactly. And it's beautiful, because even again, to link it back to drop shipping and drop servicing, it's so saturated in America because their e-commerce is so good. It's like so, you know, it's completely saturated. I mean, the oaks that even started the cryptocurrency and they're making it boom and all of that other stuff. But in South Africa, drop shipping and drop servicing is like, I mean, Take-A-Lot, for example, is a really good drop shipping example, but I can't think of anything else, in my opinion. It's not a saturated market. And again, for you guys as well, podcasts and things like that, it's, in my opinion, within South Africa, it's not a saturated market, because our social media presence in the world from South Africa's like standing point is so little, and it's just waiting to increase and boom and get on the same level as everyone else. And again, you might as well capitalize on it in the beginning now while it's not saturated. And again, drop shipping while it's not saturated. And then when it becomes saturated in South Africa, hop onto drop servicing when it's not saturated. And you just go to the next thing, and it's all about staying ahead of the game. And that's the thing. You need to know your audience. You need to do research. You need to know. And again, you just need to start. That's the whole thing.
No. Well, there you go. Just got to start. And we wanted to say, again, thank you for coming on, my dude. You gave us like the best insight. And Drizzy, do you want to just plug the socials, plug McSauce again?
So go to your website is mcsource.co.za, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So guys, please visit mcsource.co.za. We do clothes from like shirts, polo shirts, vests, hats, hoodies, sweatpants are coming soon. Sweaters are coming soon. Please visit us. Check out our socials at McSauce. Just search us. You'll find us. And also we have this print-on-demand rebranding scheme that if anybody would like to make their own brand or do any customizable prints on any of the clothing items that I just suggested, please check us out. We do quality over quantity. You won't regret it. And thank you guys so much for having me on the podcast.
Our pleasure, bro. It's been awesome. It's been a great time chatting with you, dude. Yeah, so also don't forget to check us out on Instagram at _fundamental_podcast. And yeah, just, give us a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's all going to be great. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.